Welcome to Play It Again. I'm Jordan.
I'm Brandon.
Oh, and I'm Ben.
And today we are going to be playing Stellar Ventures. I keep wanting to say Stellar Horizons. Stellar Ventures, a new Kickstarter game from Tabletopist Games. And I'm going to be teaching you guys how to play briefly. And then we're going to break it out into a separate video and start a full game.
All right.
Cool. But I should say this is a brand new YouTube channel and I'm still getting my bearings. So like and subscribe if you like this type of content. And with that, let's go into a full teach. So this is the game all set up. Stellar Ventures is
by the end of the teach, you'll have it right.
is a Cube Rails game, but it's set in space, obviously. And it takes place over 5 rounds. The round track is right up here. And every round, there's going to be a corporate round, an investor round, and an administration round, where companies, then players, and then the game itself will be doing certain things. That is broadly the sort of structure of the game. It is a very procedural game. As we play through, you'll sort of see that. Okay, so every round is going to start with a corporate round, and each company, and there will be 5 of them in play at the beginning of the game, and they each have these boards just like this. Each company is going to be able to first issue a share. These companies, by the way, will start player owned. We'll come to how our starting positions, shake out at the end of the teach. But they can issue a share, and the president can choose to do that. And if they do, they must start bidding for their share. And we all have our own individual money, and you'll bid that money in order to buy that share. So you just go around until someone wins the auction. That is an option. You are not required to issue a share. But any money spent on the share goes into the company coffers.
While we're calling attention to the components, you could probably mention that this is a prototype.
This is a prototype.
Non-final.
Thank you. Yes, This is a prototype. The game is currently on Kickstarter. And we also got this prototype a few months ago, so I'm not sure how final it is.
That's true. It might even be behind some other channel's prototypes.
Although I do know that this prototype is ahead of the heavy cardboard prototype.
Wow, look at us.
I know. Can you believe it?
Wow,
okay.
That's a flex.
I know, right? Okay, so the money goes into the company's coffers to be spent in the future. The company can then build track. So each company starts on the board with 1 track. I think these are called outposts. And the company can build new track in one of 2 ways. Either you can just flat out build up to 10 track. Want to hand me those white pieces there? Thank you. Build up to 5 track. The costs for each track are 1, 2, 4, 7, or 10. So 10 if you're building all 5. And you can only build adjacent to hexes you already control. And the goal of building is to get onto these planets, because the planets, probably wouldn't quite do that, but whatever. The planets have values on them, like 2, 3, 1, etc. And your mining capacity, which is this white track over here, will go up to reflect the increase in value. So the sum of every planet you're on is what's represented on the mining track. So that is the expand network step. There's another option. You can, instead of expanding your network, you can create a wormhole. We'll cover that later, but that is a technology that the company has to unlock, and this company doesn't have it unlocked. It would show a green cube here if it did. So after building track, you're going to pay dividends. The way you calculate your dividends is over here on this track, and dividends are going to be a function of your cargo and your mining capacity. Your cargo is based on the ships that you have on your company board. And at the start of the game, this white company has no ships, and so its cargo is at 0. But let's pretend that it's later in the game, and it had 2 1s and a 2. And so its cargo would be 4. We then look over here, and you see there's a white marker here and a white marker here. We look for the lower of the 2 markers, and then we check the box next to it, or the row next to it, rather. And there are different payouts for the size of the company. A private company with only 1 share outstanding, a minor with 2 to 3 shares outstanding, or a major with 4 or 5 shares outstanding. So in this case, if this is a minor company, Brandon owns the only share of Frost Federated, and these are the current values on the company track, he would get paid $4. And that $4 will come and sit in his frozen funds box. Those funds will not be accessible until the very end of this round, basically. So the final step after paying dividends is ordering new ships. You can only buy ships from the leftmost supply that has available ships. So in this case, I know I showed this too, but that actually would not be an option on the first turn. You could only buy these ones. And ordered ships go to the top of this ordered ship track, just like that. And they are not immediately reflected on the cargo thing. Later in the round, the ships will be delivered, and then those values will be reflected on the cargo track. You can only have 3 ships, either ordered or in your supply here, and you are not allowed to overbuild. So I cannot order a ship here and like just voluntarily get rid of this 1 because I'd rather have a 2. That's not allowed. So that is the corporate round, and we're going to go in the order of these tokens right over here. So this will be randomly set in the first round, and then in the future it'll be set based on the value of the various companies. So in this case, red would take its full turn, then white, then yellow, then blue, then pink. And then we'll move on to the investor round. The first step of the investor round is release those dividends. So that $4 that Brandon made gets moved into his liquid funds.
Sweet.
Then we're going to have what's called a boardroom battle. Each player has 6 of these vote tokens, which are shown right there. And starting with the director, who has this lovely little top hat token, you can vote that a certain share get auctioned. And you can put as many of these 6 tokens as you want into the vote. And once you're done, like, you have to choose one company. So maybe Brandon votes 2 on white, then it would pass clockwise to me, and I could vote 2 on pink. And then Ben maybe wants to put 1 on, or he wouldn't do 1, maybe 2 on orange. Then if there's a tie, the director picks which of the voted for shares gets auctioned. If there's not a tie, the director has no tie-breaking ability, and whichever has the most votes gets auctioned. So we'd put up another share of white for an auction. And that auction will start with a bid from the director, whoever has this hat token, and then go around.
But I can also add on to a bid that's already there. I don't have to start with a new corporation, right?
That's right. So maybe if I put 1 on pink and you'd actually like to see pink happen, maybe you put 2 more so that Brandon doesn't have a choice. Pink is the one that's going to get auctioned off. And just like a normal auction, those funds are going to go into the company's coffers.
And how does the auction work? Is it...
Once you pass, you're out, but you go around and around until everyone but 1 player has passed. And
Just naming the number?
Yeah, just name the number. Yep. Obviously, you can only commit your liquid funds. Okay, so that's the boardroom battle step. And then finally, starting with the director and going clockwise, everyone gets to take 2 actions. There's what's called, I'm going to move this board up a little bit here and mess up all of your money in the process. There's what's called an investor action and an alien tech action. And you have these 2 little discs, which are almost like worker placement discs. You'll move 1 onto an investor action and then 1 onto an alien tech action. And they'll stay there until the end of, until the next round. And when we come to this phase in the next round, you have to move them to a new action, or you can do nothing and just pull them off so that you have all choices available in the following round.
So you just can't do the same thing you did last round?
Right, can't do the same thing
on
twice.
either row.
On either row, right. That's right. So let's just go through these actions briefly. The first, there's 4 investor actions. The first one is private contractor. And in order to do the private contractor action, you must be a shareholder in the company that you are acting with. And you build track with their tokens using your own money at the same rate. So 1, 2, 4, 7, 10, but you pay with your own money and you put their track out onto the board. That's the private contractor action. The next action is jerry rig. That lets you take 1, again, you have to be a shareholder of a company. You take 1 outpost and you put it anywhere on the board, not anywhere. You put it on the board wherever you'd like for free. And we'll come to why there might be additional costs for building in a minute. I've forgotten that rule in the initial teach, but that's fine. Again, you have to be a shareholder. It's 1 station and it's free no matter what. The third option is insurance fraud. In order to do this, you must be the president of a company, and you can take a ship that company has, remove it from the game, and get its cost in money into the company coffers. So freeing up more space for future delivered ships. And then finally, the black market action, you can take 1 of your vote tokens, which you have 6 of for the game, and you can throw it away for an alien tech cube. Okay, so let's talk about those alien tech cubes for a second, because there's another way to get them. Every time you, as a player, put an outpost on an alien planet like this, you get an alien tech cube. And it's you as a player, not the company.
The company never owns those cubes, right?
That's right. The company never owns those cubes. Okay, so so black market's the second way to get those. And the way to spend them is with 1 of the 4 alien tech actions here. So the one on the left is add 1 or 2 of your alien tech cubes to a company's cargo section. So you'll notice these companies have these little cargo slots. They can hold alien tech cubes, and these are permanent increases to their position on the cargo track. Okay? You can put 1 or 2 down on the same company in a single action, and you must be a shareholder to do so. The next choice is research wormhole. That lets you take an alien tech cube and put it on the wormhole space. That unlocks a new way for the company to build. Here's how wormhole works. When you want a wormhole, what you're doing is building one outpost somewhere on the board, and you don't have to, you can build further away from your pieces that you already have. You don't have to build adjacent. So what you could do is you could build here, for instance, and the way you would do it is you would pay $4 plus 1 for every hex you skipped over. So in this case, I'd pay $4, $5, $6 for that.
So you can count through these suns. You don't have to count around them for that purpose?
Correct. You can count through suns and you can count through nebulas, which are spaces that you normally cannot build in. Okay, and then the third choice, oh, sorry, I won't remove that. The third choice here is develop planets. That lets you take as many cubes as you want. You can put them on any planet of your choice, and it doubles the printed value of that planet for everyone, because multiple people can be on the same planet, and we'll come to that in a moment. And then the final choice is launder. Spend 1 of your alien tech cubes for $2, or 2 of them for $5 into your personal coffers. So those are the investor and alien tech actions. And again, you can't take the same 1 2 turns in a row. Once that's over, we'll move to administration. We will scrap the lowest value available ship. We'll deliver ordered ships. That's where the ships slide down and then are reflected in your cargo value. We will assign corporate turn order. That is going to be based on the mining capacity track. Whoever's highest up will go first in the next turn. Ties keep the same order. Then we're going to pass the director marker clockwise, and we will advance the round and go on to round number 2. All right, a few rules that I skipped along the way. First, when building, you can have 2 ships in the same space, up to 2. And those ships, the second ship to be built has to pay an additional $1 for going to a space that's already occupied. All planets can have 2. All blank empty spaces can have 2. The only exception is these alien planets. These can have infinite. They can have, and if every company can be on the same alien planet. Okay, I've already covered that when you, and you pay 1 extra for each ship there. So if you're the 5th ship on an alien planet, you'd pay $4 extra beyond the normal building cost. Okay, great. The other rule that I kind of skipped over here has to do with the alien and the agreement, but I'm trying to see if there's anything else I missed before I get into that.
Maybe the Mega Earth?
Mega Earth, good call. So Mega Earth is a special space, and if you're the first player here, the first company here, it's worth 6 to you. But the more companies reach it, the value of it goes up.
6 what?
6.
Mining capacity?
Yeah, mining capacity. Yep, so 6, 9. If 4 companies are here, which is the max, then they each have 15. So when yellow went here, its value went up by 6 on the mining capacity track. When yellow joins, its value goes up 9, and white's value goes up another 3, because they're both at 9. Thank you for that, Ben. Okay, so moving on to the agreement, a very exciting implementation in this game, an exciting mechanic. So, the way the agreement works is, whenever you place on an alien planet, if it's not your first alien planet for that company, whenever a company adds to an alien planet, they have a choice to make. They can choose to sign the agreement. If they do, they're going to get paid out a bunch of stuff right now. What are they going to get? Well, if it's their second alien planet they're on, they're going to get $6 per share into the frozen account. And that goes to the players, not to the company. So if 4 shares are sold, that's $6 per share. Okay. If it's 3 planets, if it's the 3rd alien planet that you're on, $9, 4 is 11, and 5 or more is 12. Massive.
This is regardless of whether or not the green hex is on the planet. Meaning, like, if you go to an alien planet later, after someone has already removed one of these hexes, that agreement.
I don't think we've talked about these.
Yeah, so we'll come to the hexes in a moment. You cannot sign the agreement if there's not a hex on the planet.
Okay, that's more the direct way to ask the question.
Right, so there must be a hex there in order for you to make this choice to sign the agreement. It must also be your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th or more alien planet, so not the first time. And the 3rd prerequisite is you must have an available share. Because as part of the deal, whenever you sign the agreement, you're selling a share of your company to the aliens. And it goes over there to show that the aliens own a share of you. Okay, and then the remaining player-owned shares get paid out in that value. And you'll take your little handshake marker and you'll put it there to show that maybe if it was 2 planets that you were on, that you made a deal at the 2-planet level. Great. Now, as the game goes on, once the game comes to an end here, if your mining capacity at the very end of the game is under the aliens' mining capacity, the aliens liquidate your company And every share owned by a player is worth $1 instead of its other value, which I'll tell you how to calculate that in a moment. But it's only worth $1. But if you're above the aliens, not only are your shares worth their full value, they're worth extra. They're worth an extra $3, $6, $9, or $15 per share. So if you make a bargain with the aliens and then you beat them, woof, it pays dividends. But if not, you're in a lot of trouble. $1 per share is you've lost the game. Okay, so when you make that deal with the aliens, coming back down to here, whichever planet you landed on, you're going to flip that hex over. And it's going to have between 0 and 4 chevrons on it. And those chevrons are going to be movements up this mining track for the alien marker. Okay, so if it was 4, and this will start on 1, 4, or 7, we can decide that. It's easy, medium, difficult.
Oh, funny.
So we can say, let's start it on 4. So if it were to go 4, it'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and that's the number you have to beat. But every time someone makes a deal with an alien, this marker will jump up more. And that's not the only way it jumps up. The first time a 2 ship leaves this box, we'll reveal this marker, and it'll jump up, and then 3, and then the 5s as well. Okay.
So it's going... So those ones that's definitely going to happen by the time the game ends, or almost definitely.
Yes.
It's just that it's an unknown.
It's an unknown value, right? Because not all the tokens are out here.
And to confirm, we flip these green tokens the moment the first person who arrives at those, or is it only when you're making the deal?
Only when you're making the deal.
Okay.
So they do not flip when you're making the deal, and when you're not making the deal. If you make the deal, they flip, and then this goes away, and this stays an alien planet that other players can land on and get cubes from, but it's not a location where you can sign the deal anymore, because there has to be a token here for you to sign the deal.
But having a ship there does still count towards the number of planets when you make a future deal?
When you make a future deal, absolutely. Yes. Okay, great. So just a few loose ends here. I've covered how to value these companies if the aliens outdo you effectively. They're worth 1 each. But if you either beat the aliens or if you never sign the agreement with the aliens, then the value of your company at the end is going to be cargo track plus mining track divided by the number of outstanding shares. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're at like 10 and 25, it's 35.
Divided by the 5 shares.
Paid out to the shares, basically.
Right, exactly. Paid out to the shares. Okay, that's good. Is there any other rule I'm missing? I am missing one more important rule, which is rusting or space rusting.
Weathering.
Space weathering. Thank you very much. Yes. So the minute a 3 ship leaves this box, whether it's because the game scrapped a ship or because one of our companies bought it, all of the ones in the game, whether they're ordered or delivered, are discarded. They're gone.
Like obsolete.
They're obsolete, and immediately the cargo track is moved down to reflect that loss. Okay. Last set of rules here, and I apologize for going around in circles. I wasn't sure that we'd be doing a full teach here, but we have tech, you guys, and it's very exciting that we have tech. First of all, every company has this tech. It's called Alien Explorers. And what it says is you can build on alien planets. Immediately after building on an alien planet, you can sign the agreement. That's basically what it says. When you sign the agreement, this tech goes away forever, and you get a new tech from this market. Also, every company starts with a tech. So you'll have, in addition to signing the Alien Explorers, you'll get another tech. So maybe I'll start with these 2 technologies, okay? And then if I sign the agreement as part of that process, I will lose the alien agreement tech and I can gain another tech from this market. So you will always have 2 techs with these companies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You'll start with the alien tech and then you'll also get one of these from the market. And then when you sign the agreement, if you choose to, the alien agreement tech goes away and you'll get a new one. But what that means is when this goes away, you can no longer build on alien planets. That's an important detail. If you sign the agreement, you're done building on alien planets.
That's the agreement you made.
That's the agreement you made. Right.
Not to colonize
their
planets anymore.
Exactly. You agreed not to colonize them.
Remind me how many, I think you just mentioned when prior to signing that agreement, when you go onto an alien planet, you get cubes. How many cubes do you receive?
One.
One.
One cube. Right. Okay, great. So yes, Brandon.
I was going to say, I think that there are 3 things you haven't covered.
Great.
Based on my memory of playing this game 6 months ago. Or however long. The Purple Corporation is different, right?
Yep.
We haven't talked about loans.
Yep.
And maybe it went by fast at the beginning, but I don't think you've said how to win.
Okay. Well, you win the game by having the most money. That's an important thing. And that includes the liquidation of your shares at the end. Their end value gets added to your current treasury. Loans are something a company can take And you can only do it if it's forced, I believe, which means I don't think there's a way on this map for it to happen.
Oh?
There are multiple maps in the game, and one of the maps has taxes that you have to pay, and so you might have to take loans to pay your taxes. I don't know if you can take loans on this map. I have to double check that.
Interesting.
Okay, but you've made a very good point. There are two differences in these rounds. Round 3 and round 5 each have these little white circles above them to indicate a difference. At the beginning of round 3, we are going to auction off a share of the Amethyst Agency, this purple company. Now, this purple company has a few specialties. First of all, it only has 3 shares instead of 5, so it will never be a major company. It will be minor at most. It also comes with a different tech. It cannot make a deal with the aliens. It hates the aliens. And so what it says instead is you may build on an alien planet. When building on the alien planet, you can discard the tile and increase its mining capacity by 3, so it gets to go up 3, or you can reveal the tile and move up the alien marker equal to the chevrons on that tile. So it can act like a policing force. If too many people are signing the agreement, this company can go around and make the aliens better, making it harder to beat them effectively. So it starts with this tech instead of the alien tech, okay? And it only has 3 shares. I believe those are the differences for the purple company, and the first share is auctioned off at the beginning of the 3rd round. And then in the 5th round, there is no... there's only a corporate round. There's no investor round, there's no administration. So you will only take these investor and alien tech actions 4 times during the game, only in rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. Following that, any other questions, guys? 8 ships are unlimited. So. There are only 5 sitting here, but you can buy more of them.
What's with the purple planets?
When the purple company comes in, it chooses one of these 2 as its home. The other one will never be touched by any ship ever. You can never go on another company's home planet, and you can tell it's a home planet because the number is in a colored background.
Got it.
So it is not a valid place for any other company to go, and when purple comes in, it can choose to start here or up here.
I didn't realize. Okay, so like the reason there's a red piece already on this planet is that's the red starting planet.
That is the red starting
planet. You can tell because
planet.
it's red. Got it.
Correct.
No one else can go there. Okay.
Right, exactly.
All right, I think I'm ready.
Okay, we each start with $40. Which I think everyone should have. And there are 6 techs starting out here. And the way this works is I'm going to randomize these really quickly, and we'll talk about the opening auction here. So we'll go first to last here.
Get your alien cube. It's on the board right now.
Thank you.
All right, so these are going to be auctioned off in reverse order here. So we're going to start with the white company, then go to red, then blue, then pink, then yellow. And yellow is going to come with this director's hat. So we're going to put that on the yellow company. If you win that, and that's going to be the first one to go up for auction, you will get the directorship to start the game. And because these are auctioned off in reverse order, starting with the last to operate will be the first to select one of these technologies. Because after the auction is won, the president will pick one of these technologies. So this is a random deal. There are a lot more of these. And let's just read through these briefly so everyone knows what the options are. You've got Windfall. This says immediately get $5 to this company and then discard this tech. So it's a one-time get $5. Probably a little more clear. This says before the hostile takeover, you can adjust the alien's value up or down 1. Up 1 row or down 1 row. So it's good for the hostile takeover, whether you're for it or against it. We've got Deep Space Pirates. Copy another corporation's mining capacity when determining dividend payment, then discard this. So it's a one-time copy someone else's mining capacity. The Icarus experiment lets you build on the suns. So normally suns are not valid spaces to build on, but with this, you are allowed to.
Seems pretty useful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the suns don't add to your mining capacity.
They don't
it's
add
just a way to grow.
It's just, it's basically so you don't have to go around.
Yeah, it makes them empty spaces.
Right.
Yeah. But that's specifically just the suns, not these like nebulas that are
there's
also
a different tech
blocked.
for the nebulas.
Oh, okay.
Right. All right, and then we've got Deep Space Smuggling. This is the same as Deep Space Pirates, but it lets you copy someone else's cargo track, which is good for rusting. I will say that I found this to be good. And then finally, spare parts. When a ship would be scrapped, you may move it here for 1 more dividend payment and then scrap it 1 time, and then the tech goes away. So basically, if you have a 1 and then you were going to lose it because the first 3 was bought, you had a 1 and then you're going to lose it because the first 3 was bought, you could take that 1, put it here, and keep it for 1 more round. and then it would go away. And then only after it goes away would you lose your cargo value. Those are the starting technologies. Yellow is the company that's going to start with the director share, but randomly one of us is going to start the bid. Want to hand me one of your colored discs there, Ben?
Yes. Oh wait, no.
Okay, so we're gonna do this, but I think that's the end of the teach. Unless you guys have any final questions.
You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
job.
I think I'm good.
Good. Okay, it was a kind of a quick teach. Hopefully it was comprehensive. So if you enjoyed this teach, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with the full gameplay of Stellar Ventures.